Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. We're going to continue with our Crochet Simply Mesh Top. We're moving on now, and we've got the first part of the panel going, and we're now ready for the neckline in this video. This is actually really quite simple, and I'm going to explain that. So let's just make sure you got your orientation proper before we carry on. When you got to either 10 inches or 11 and a half, if you follow it across, you're going to notice is that the stitch marker on the last row of that should have been on the back side of this thing. So this is technically the wrong side. So when we go to switch over and start doing the neck area, when we flip it over, this will be facing up towards us. So we know that this is the right side of the project. So just make sure that when you finished your 10 to 11 and a half, you were on the wrong side. If you have to take out a row in order to get to that or add a row, that's completely up to you. We're now going to move on, and we're going to do the neck opening, and I'm going to show you something that may blow your mind. I'm going to have you do something that's not suggested in the pattern, but this is just my experience, and we're not going to mess around with trying to count as we're crocheting. So what I'm going to do, with the right side facing up, I'm going to count to the 43rd box. So just looking at this is a mesh box. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. This here is the last box that will get done before we leave the space. So what I'm going to do is put a stitch marker in the next available box. And when I see that stitch marker, I know that I am not going to create another box over that. The other thing that I'm going to do to keep this centered, just in case I didn't have my 101, and that may have happened to you, count the other 43 from the other side of the piece. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So from here to the edge, we're going to be crocheting. So I'm going to move it to the next one, and this is using another stitch marker. So I don't want to use this box. And if my math is correct, which I'm crossing my fingers because I didn't count off camera, is that there should be about 15 boxes left over. So counting the first one that's marked, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So there is 15. If you want the neck opening to be wider, just move it out. Just be consistent though, okay? And you'll have to adjust your math in order to make that happen as far as like the number of chains that you're going to skip. I'm gonna leave that in your hands, and I'm gonna follow the pattern as written. So we're going to grab our project now, where the yarn is, and we're going to continue this strategy, and when we get to the first stitch marker area, we're going to jump in order to create that hole, and the dog hair is included in today's tutorial. Let's do that next. If you decided to do the stitch marker concept like I showed you, I want you to continue this row like you already know it to be. So you're going to chain total of 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just double crochet into your next double crochet. And I want you to continue this until you get to the box before the stitch marker. And I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm now coming and forming the last box. So I know that I have to skip over this box here, so I just got to chain 2 and do the last box before I jump. Okay, so I don't want to touch this one. So in order to jump all the way to the other one after, so into this box here, I need to chain a total of 44. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and 44. So now what I'm going to do is come to the one after the stitch marker. Now because it's a chain, you're going to want to pinch the top, so just hold it on down, and when you do your double crochet, if you hold it down, it won't cause that chain to spin. So go into your first one after and double crochet in, and then carry on all the way to the end of the row. So chain 2 and next double crochet, and etc. So now you've just created the opening space for the neck. Okay, so go all the way to the end of the row. I'll see you there in a few moments. I'm at the end of the row, just finish it off like you normally do. So coming to the third chain up from the edge, we're going to turn our work, and when we go back across, we're going to re-establish the boxes again along the neck edge. So turn it, and let's get ready for the next row. Begin row number 2 now, and we're going to start off like we normally do, so chain 5 and double crochet in the first double crochet right here. So I need you to do the same concept going all the way to where the chain starts in the neckline, and I'll pick you up there and we'll re-establish the neck section for going up over top of the back. Okay, so let's do that, and I'll see you there in a few moments. Continuing along, and this is the last double crochet before I hit the chain. So now what we have to do is put the mesh back into play, and you can see that it just looks like a vertical to where we need to go. So to do this, you're going to chain 2 and use the chain, don't use a space. If you use a space, then what happens is that it'll be able to slide. So you want to make sure that you're using the chain work as suggested. Okay, so then go right into the chain to hold that stitch right into position. And you want to get the same number of boxes that's below. Okay, so there was a total of 15 if you recall. So then chain 2, skip 2 on the chain, and double crochet the next. Chain 2, skip 2 on the chain, 2, and go to the third. So before you get too excited, make sure that at the end of the chain, when you put it over top of each other, you're going to be able to see that the boxes line up perfectly right up over top. Go to the end of the chain, and I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm across the chain. There are indeed 15 boxes between, and you're just going to carry on with what you already know. So chain 2, go to the top of the next double crochet, and more. So go to the end of the row, and then we're going to recap, and then the rest is going to be up to you, and I'll be right back in a moment. So carry it on all the way across against the third chain, the turning chain, and we're going to turn our work, and we're going to talk about the remaining of this for today's tutorial, because you got a lot of homework to do at this point before we can carry on. So let's do that. So I'm going to turn it first, and I'll be right back. With the neckline now established and we reconfigured, and we have now the mesh on the other side of the neck, we're ready to continue then for the remaining of this until we get to underneath the arms. So what we need to do is that we just need to go back and forth doing the mesh stitch until the small size is either 21 inches, okay, right from the start to the new section that you'll be finishing. And then for the large size that I'm doing for myself, it's 24 inches. So you can just finish that up, and then I'll see you in the next video. So once you have your thing done, then we're going to be able to attach then to make the arms. So the other thing that you can do for yourself is that when you do finish, you got to make sure you're on the wrong side of the project. So when you're coming all the way across and you look at your project, make sure that stitch marker is on the reverse of it as you're finishing that row. And then when we come back in the next video, we're going to attach then the sleeves using a flat stitch join. But we'll cover that next time, and we hope you're having a good one, and we hope to see you again real soon.